folks, welcome back. Let's try this again. So, we are currently spiritually battling, and I'm battling to get this stream done here. So, as we kind of wait for people to regather here, I had to restart here because, well, yeah. So, where we left off, the anatomy of the cannibal CME. Over the weekend, the sun hurled multiple CMEs towards Earth. Everybody, bumpy ride. Hold on tight. It's going to be a wild ride, especially when we have multiple CMEs heading directly towards Earth. None of the CMEs was particularly impressive, but together they joined forces to form a potentially potent cannibal CME. Okay, so yep, I'm back. We had some interference, we'll say. Okay, so there is our little article there. The main thing that we need to all wrap our heads around is we have multiple CMEs. Where'd it go? Multiple CMEs heading towards Earth. Multiple CMEs directly towards Earth. All right, one right after another, right after another. And that was yesterday. That was before we got to see today's activity, too. So we got even more coming at us. All right, it's going to be a long week. And then once this settles down into the core, and then the core burps, and basically pressure comes back up, and we start seeing volcanoes and earthquakes that are going to be large magnitude, taller blasts, newer sites, maybe even more, more thermals on our ocean anomaly map. Okay, so there's that. I see some more people are making it back, so we're going to go ahead and continue on now to the Schumann. Yay, most of the main people made it back. All right. So, little break right here. Do you see how weak the 7.83 was right through there? Everybody lost their mind right there. And then it starts grinding. Okay? So we went really weak, and then the field kind of came out of it, starts grinding, and then tapers off and goes back to normal here. So we had a little normal activity after this grinding session, a little right here where something put on the brakes, and we almost came to a stop. See what I'm saying? See how dark it is through this whole patch right here? And that's not good. That's a weak magnetic field right there. And we get CME impact with a weak magnetic field. It's going to take a G1 to a G3, a G3 to a G5. See what I'm saying? So, but we came out the backside with good continuity here. Let me refresh just for some latest data. Yeah, we're getting a nice strong field again right here. So that's good. That's good. That's good. But meanwhile, we had this yesterday, the craziness yesterday, some good continuity then right through here, and then and gets really, really weak right through there. See, notice how all the other lines got really weak too? See that? That's where our core was moving real slow inside the shell. Barely moving, barely producing a magnetic field. And like I told you, when the Russians put the astronauts up and forgot to put the Schumann resonance in there, well, without the resonance, they lost their minds and got violent and killed each other. Okay? So without it, people get violent. With it, they get, well, over stimulated, anxiety, all kinds of stuff. Okay? So, from continuity to nothing to strong to back to weak, then continuity again. It's just this roller coaster ride. And with these CMEs coming in the way they are, expect to just have this roller coaster ride for a while. Okay, the more the sun keeps pumping out, it's just going to make this roller coaster ride longer and longer. Okay. We're going to hit the loop-de-loops. We're going to hit the corkscrew. And then we'll make it to the end of the ride and it turns around and goes backwards. I had to tell you about the vision of the roller coaster. We'll do that in the spiritual report. It's so gnarly. Anyways, there's your good human report. We had a little weakness today. People lost it for a while. I noticed it. I noticed it big time right here with how do I put this nicely without offending anybody? But elderly females or elderly women were not doing too well today. They were not in good form because this does a number to them. It does a number to everybody and the animals and stuff too. So, but we're back to normal activity. We had to build up a pressure too, so we were grinding right in there. All right, let's come on over here now. Let's get this part done. Already set up on the sandstorm here. You can see it's nice long reach like this is covering most of the Atlantic right there, stopping our hurricane formation. We still have this little break in here where the storm it has formed. So once this sand plume moves through, this open space moves through, then we could possibly see the storm, hitting that area. Meantime, we got more sand covering the area, stopping the production, which is good. That's been a saving grace, really, way more than you know. I mean, at this time right now, we would probably have 6 to 7 hurricanes rotating around like that, just one after another after another. So it's good that the sandstorm's happening because it's, like I said, it's stopping the hurricane genesis. I can turn this light off now. There we go. All right, sorry. Now, meanwhile, you can see this plume that's in the Gulf of Mexico right here. Pretty concentrated right over the Yucatan, and you follow the wind patterns. Guess where that plume is going? I'll give you one good guess. That's all you need. Well, it's going to go up like that and spread all across this right here and go up and out. Okay, so that sand right there, when it comes in, that could hinder any kind of thunderstorm genesis. Our tornado genesis, we need, thunderstorms that are with really tall caps. Well, if the sand halts that and slows that production down, well, it could slow down some of the tornado production and severe weather production coming up through that area, just like it's doing with the hurricanes. Capiche? Comprende? Catorce? Good. Let's move on. Big old plume going right up through Spain and France. See that? Reaching all the way up to England almost there. Meanwhile, over here, this is a gnarly mess. Look at Saudi Arabia, Oman, Yemen, all of that being pulled off into the Indian Ocean, hitting India. India's been getting just this for a long time now. Meanwhile, these ones have fired up too. This plume up here is not as strong, but still there. Okay. So a lot of this sandstorm production right here is actually killing the hurricane production, which is good. Moving on, let's get out of here and come on over to our SO2, take off the wind, come over to our divided country. Okay, let me put my thing up there. There we go. There's your, pull it down. There you go. Country divided, bleeding out on this side, massive SO2 emissions. Little patches here where, flooding has occurred, where it blocks up the pores. But all in all, there's your country. Every time. How does he do that? All right. Meanwhile, this is the area of concern over here. This massive plume right here and the fires that it's sparked. Meanwhile, coming up through this volcanic range right here, we're starting to see SO2 emissions out of these volcanoes along here. Let me go ahead and put the fires on now, and we'll do the fire report at the same time. Because I said fire. Did I not hit it? Fires. None. Fires. Oh, well, well, well. Would you look at this? They've taken the fires off of there. Wonder why. Wonder why they won't let me put the fires on. Because look, we're on fires. Here, let me take the fires off. We'll hit none. Okay. Then we'll come over here and we'll click on the fires. Funny. They all just went out. Dang, all them fires are all the way down here to Southern California at this plume right here. Just all magically went out in one day. Yeah, nothing going on there. Oh, well. I guess we won't be doing our fire report. Look, we're on bio. Fires. None there. Okay, how about up here then? You guys here to bear witness with me, right? Just look at this. Not a single fire on the face of the planet. How lucky are we? Look at this. There's not a single fire burning in America. Wow, that's impressive. Either they took it down or they're not posting it or whatever. So let me stop being so sarcastic. I'm just being a little upset, actually. It's important we got to know this stuff. You can't just take this information away. You're killing people. Duh. Anyways, back to our SO2 emissions. Huge SO2 plume started the fires there. SO2 plumes going all along this volcanic range. We got SO2 plumes up here that have all sparked fires in Canada. The fires have reached all the way down to Southern California. They sparked this one right here. Even though the instrument won't let me use it, we've already seen it, okay? It's already there. So, already got it. So, haha. Take it away. Already captured it anyway. Hawaii's still kind of doing its thing. It's the hub of the Pacific Rim. If it was a bicycle rim, the Hawaiian Islands would be the hub. All right, let's come on over here. It's been one of those days, so I could see why they're doing it. Yeah, all right, here we go. As you can see, China still got plenty of SO2 emissions. They're bleeding out too. This region up here has intensified. I see some of these darker pockets popping up here, up here. Okay, so India's kind of darkening up. It's still got all of its little regions, but they're darker purple today. Everything's a darker purple today. Even Java, look at this. So Java's kind of darkened up a little bit too. Some of this out here on the ocean came off the island, so you back all that up, put it on the island. A lot of SO2 emissions all coming out. Pressure's on the rise because we've already taken impact from CME and from the X flare. Okay, the X flare, when it hits D region, it heats up the ionosphere. Well, that and kind of electromagnetic particle gets caught up in the magnetic field, gets directed to the top or the bottom, depending on its charge. Meanwhile, here at Taiwan, still lots of SO2 emissions. We need to see more quake activity out of this fulcrum point right there. Wake up Godzilla a little bit and get him kind of on the move. Take care of business here, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, I think there's Australia with its issues. Some of these regions in Australia have darkened. Look at this. And these spots are a lot darker now. Even down here at Tasmania and these ones. Okay, so Our SO2 emissions are nice and healthy all over the place. They're even stronger than usual. I'd put them in at like an 8. Well, we see any black? Oh, yeah, there's a black spot right there. See that black diamond? Let's put it at 8. See black here at the very end? Yeah, it doesn't go any further than black, so lots of SO2 emissions coming out of that place. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if they got like actual cracks in the ground that are just whistling with gas coming out of them, just like a fighter jet. I can see like a little rolling hill or the side of a mountain face torn open with gas just shooting out of it. It's somewhere over here, maybe around that diamond area or this area, because it's pretty black too. All right, enough of that. Let's move on. Let's get to the ocean report here. Want that out of there. Thank you. Okay, our surface temperature anomalies for right now. There we go. Oh, look at this. This has really calmed down. It was all yellow, orange. Now it's back down to red. This actually looks a little calmer too compared to yesterday. It was a little bit bigger, but it's still yellow. We still have a little bit of white in there in the middle, but all in all, it looks like it kind of it was yellow down to here yesterday. So a little reduction there in pressure because it's all up here. Look at the north of the planet here. I mean, we're talking the coldest water around, and it's all getting hot up there. That's going to melt a lot of ice. And look at this. Right here, we're seeing red. All right? Look, this whole area up here at the very top of the planet here is heating up. Right? Give you a little perspective again. We're in a little too close. All right. So there you go. Greenland, Iceland. Look at Iceland. It's getting surrounded. But look at all this hot coming off up here. Over here in the Hudson Bay. Our huge plume there. Let's come on over. All right. Let's go ahead and just put the wind on now. And as you can see, our heat signatures are controlling the weather, the air patterns, the weather patterns. The weather patterns are no longer following the jet stream, they're following the lower currents from down below. And if we even come over here to our standard surface sea temperature, you'll see some of the flow matching with these too. Cold water wants to replace hot water, so you have heat here that rises. Cold water wants to come in and replace it. We'll come over to here. It's actually matching the anomalies more than the standard surface sea temperature now. Okay. Thankfully, you see this rotating structure right here. This is what could kick up hurricane after hurricane after hurricane. They could ride the inside loop on this or get on this outside loop of the conveyor belt and go around like that. All right. So thankfully, the sandstorm has cut that off. So any kind of breaks, though, you could see storm production in between sandstorm, breaking the sandstorm. But it's just unbelievable what's happening here. Well, not really. It's totally believable if you know what's going on. Alrighty, also down here, just want to point out Java doing its job, relieving pressure. We have cold water down there. Up here by Taiwan, we're starting to see a little cold water here. Let me take these winds out of there. Starting to see a little cold water around this region. which shows less pressure in that region. So that's good. All right, let's get on over here to our earthquake report here. Been a busy day for quakes, and it will be for a while now. So let's get in here. 5.7 down at 586. Usually we're seeing mid-range 4. So if we're seeing mid-range 5 and above, we're going to see larger quakes at the surface. We're going to see 6 and above at the surface. We got a 4.4 also down at that depth, backing it up. We have our typical mid-range 4 down at the 571. So we got 3 of these deep quakes right here. Okay, good indication that pressure is starting to rise from down below, right? It's going to hit the deeper regions first and then up to the surface. So here's your deeper quakes right there, and they produced a 6 at the surface. Look at that, a 6.0 right at the surface, plate boundary. Anything down below that? No. Okay. Entering into the system, we haven't seen a quake on the very front door of the system right here in a long time. We used to see them all the time. And it's your 5.3. It's above magnitude 5. So 5.3 down at 21. This island right here has SO2 emissions, so it relieves some of the pressure there in that region. So here's Fiji. Here's that little island I was telling you about right here, and it's got 2 little SO2 smokestacks on it right there, relieving pressure. So 5 energy comes in, or 6 energy comes in, registers 5.3 because this is taking some of the brunt. We also have another quake right here, another 5 basically. What do we do with 4.9s here, especially at the surface? Bingo. Nothing up through that region. Lots of volcano activity in there. Relieving pressure. Here's one on the island here, 4.4 down at 102. So pressure underneath this island coming up, causing quake activity. Let me just back out a little bit, really quiet through this region right here. Fulcrum Point quake, 4.6 here in China. Another Fulcrum Point quake, 4.2 in Afghanistan. Over here in Iran, we had a 4.7. Watch out, Iran. They're going to start rocking and rolling here. They're in big trouble. They should know better than to mess with. All right, here we go. Taiwan, it's not at our fulcrum point. Okay, I'd like to see it right there, but again, we've had it down here before and it relieved pressure. So I'll take a 4.7 at the surface right here any day. I'll take any kind of quake activity we can get in this region to relieve pressure there. Okay, so 4.7 to 10 is good. I'd like to see more of that. Sounds crazy, but it relieves the pressure underneath. We have to have that release. Again, above 5 magnitude, 5.2 down at 49 here at Japan. Our increase in pressure at the surface. We got a 4.3 on the plate boundary there and a 4.8 up here. There, all that region very, very quiet. I know there's quakes going along on here, which they're not reporting. Wouldn't surprise me. You have quake up activity way up here too, at the top of the planet, because all that heat that's coming up through you saw up here at this region. So I'm sure there's probably quake activity going on up there that they might not even have instrumentation to register it. Okay, we covered everybody else. Let's do all. Ow. We didn't, did we? We did this. Forgot these. Fulcrum Point quake here at South America, 4.2 down at 119. Another Fulcrum Point quake here, or plate boundary. Almost look like right on the corner there, but 4.6 at the surface on a plate boundary right there by Panama. All right, all magnitude, and let's jump into America. America. All right. Nothing at this fulcrum point. We haven't seen anything in there in a while. Our typical microquaking going on at these volcanic islands along here. Indication of pressure down below. A little 3.3 there. Not much. As we come up into our fulcrum points area, we got a 3.3 there. Same magnitude. I bet we got a 3.3 right in here too. 3.1, pretty close. I'll take that. All these other fulcrum points didn't really have much. There's multiple. There's one right here. There's the plate boundary. There's the bay. There's this mountain ridge back there. This mountain ridge going there. That mountain ridge going up there. So there are multiple fulcrum points through that region. And you can see where the quakes hit on them. Okay, recent activity right here at the fulcrum is just a little mouse fart, but 1.7. All right. And then it comes down through here. The Puget Sound area, getting some microquaking activity here. Biggest one being a 1.3. That's good. Relieving pressure in the area. There's Rainier having fires last time we saw. Even though it doesn't register or anything, 0.0, it's still activity on a volcano. The trash can. Oh, all right, here we go. Now moving on. Excuse me. No fulcrum point quakes. No inward push or anything like that. Just typical activity here at the geysers. I want to see if we have any bigger size. Nope. Oh, microquake in there. That's good. Relieves pressure before it comes down into the Bay Area. This site again got a 1.7. Lower Bay, 1.5. All along the plate boundary. Quaking out in this region. Now for our big quake out here in Barstow. The story of the day was these quakes out here. 4.9. Now, what do we do with 4.9s here at this channel and why? You know, I would, at the end of the year, they have the tally. How many magnitude 5 plus? Well, that's why they lower them so they don't have any magnitude 5 plus, right? I want to see how many 4.9s we have over the course of a year. I bet you there's 3 times as many 4.9s as there is any other quake magnitude. Guaranteed. So that's why we take 4.9. That's probably a 5 out here. We saw a 5 in Texas, so I could see a 5 happening out here. All right, you see this this volcanic feature here and how magma has flowed out and then solidified right in this region. So there's a structure. There's like a fault little weakness underneath this not plateau, but this little range right here. 3.5. These are all like 2.3 is the depth. They're very, very shallow. Okay. So quite the little flurry going on out here, all induced because of that 5 right there. Yeah, I'd love to see how many 4.9s did we have in one year. I bet you the list is just crazy. Oh, that's funny. We had 15 times more 4.9s than any other magnitude. I can just see some outrageous number. Okay, so our new little point of weakness here out in Barstow, we're going to see probably more quake activity out of that region here in the coming days here, especially with all these CMEs coming in, absorbing, taking pressure down to the core. If you guys need an example of how that works, I'll explain it again. But most people that are here already know. Yep. All right. Biggest quake just happened right now, 3.0 here in Texas. Okay, it's down at 10. It's pretty close to the surface. Man-made perforations in the crust cause path of least resistance. Nothing here on the Craton, but way up here, 2.8 up in Canada. We've seen this little area moving a little bit up in that area, so just be aware. Quick magnitude check in here. This latest one, 3.7. So used to be 2.5. Now we're up a full magnitude plus a couple points. So 3.7 magnitude shows me that there's increase in pressure going on down below. And we're seeing larger magnitude earthquakes at the surface along plate boundaries. We're seeing larger magnitude earthquakes down at depth with a 5.7 at 586. Okay, so we see a 6.0 at depth. That's going to cause something bigger at the surface. And a 6.0 is not that far away from a 5.7. See what I'm saying? We're getting closer and closer and closer. Magnitudes are increasing and increasing. The more they increase at depth, the more they'll increase up at the well, not the more they'll increase, but there will be increases at the surface. Okay. Okay, there's your earthquake report. Whew, got her done. Let me pull. Whoops. Pull up. Start getting some of these sites pulled down so I can pull up a volcano report. Right there. That's good enough. All right. Thank you for your patience. We're getting there. 34, 28, 62, 62 volcanoes, and I'm still crazy about you. I went through insane asylums for you. That's how crazy I am for you. Why did that not go clickety click? All right. Oh dear. A large glacial runoff damaged the part of the main ring road. It's on the South Iceland. Okay. I showed you all the heat up there by Iceland. Remember I pointed out Iceland? I said, look at it building up around Iceland. It's melting the ice up there. We're seeing these huge floods now. Large glacial runoff. Katla, southern Iceland, following road closures along the southern coast due to the recent glacial flood. The main ring road is now open again. Repairs are currently in progress on the ring road east of the Skolum River, which was damaged yesterday due to flooding from the Midjorskal. Approximately 700 meters of road were affected by the flooding. Okay. Ebu, 8,000 feet. Luatobi, 10,000 feet. Semeru, maximum 15. Dukono, 8,000? No, 7. Songay, 21. Reventador, back on the list again, like last night, 14,000. Sabancaya, 22. And that was just in the last few minutes. Here we go into what was today and is now yesterday with the 29th. Etna, 7 days since the last paroxysm, but Vrangiry has returned again to produce mild strombolian activity, emitting small ash plumes. Okay, little increase in pressure. There goes Etna. All right. There we go. Just messing with that vision. All right, here we go. Katla again, another small swarm of earthquakes has been occurring under the ice cap of the volcano. Gee, I wonder why there's volcanoes happening under the ice cap of the volcano. I think we know why. Because the sun burped up a bunch of stuff. Here's an eruption from Sakurajima. Big old plume there. Moving on, past decorations. Speaking of Sakurajima, that was an 18,000 foot blast, okay? The volcano remains highly active. Strong volcanian type explosions occur almost daily, or even more often, more than once a day. An eruption this afternoon producing impressive shock waves visible in the video embedded and billowing ash plumes rising to 5 to 6 kilometers. Okay. Ibuprofen, 10,000 feet, Luatobi, Semaru, 15,000 probably, Marapi, 12,000 there. Popocatépetl back on the list, 19,000 out of that, right by Mexico City. Fuego, 17,000. Sangay, 21,000. Reventador, Sabancaya with a 24. All right, the crazy lists. These lists should be deeply disturbing, but so desensitized now that it's just, hey, a bunch of volcanoes. 62 on land is 124 underwater. Altogether is 186. So we have 186 currently erupting volcanoes underwater and on land. Pretty crazy. And all that volcanic activity, ash, particulates going up into the air, affects our weather, as well as so does all kinds of wonderful stuff. It got me whispering like Joe Biden. All right, let these load up real quick. There's this little hurricane making landfall there, or however it approaches when it does. Okay, severe weather patterns picking back up here. All right, so right now, current conditions, nighttime. Where did I leave it? Oh, good. Now, tomorrow, the 30th, G3. We saw a G1 today, and it enhanced some of the storm activity. Okay, so G3 tomorrow on the 30th. This is the nighttime of the 29th. Here we go. Add G3 to this. So in the morning, you're going to have severe weather up there in Minnesota. Noontime might have some kind of enhancement. If not, this is going to be very heavy flooding rain. Okay. There we go. At convection. Convection might have severe weather maybe in this region. Okay. Even though it's not showing it because they're not taking into consideration the G3 enhancement. But right there, the nighttime of the 30th, all right, supposedly impact is at midday, right? Whether it hits early, not, we don't really know exact timing. So if it hits midday, and here we are at the nighttime of the 30th, which is right now, remember the 30th, going into the 30th. This will be tonight. Okay, tomorrow night for some people, whatever. But severe weather around Iowa, possibly up into Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan area, down here in the Ohio Valley with Indiana, Illinois, and that could be shifted. It could shift a little bit, shift up here. But what I'm telling you is already we have the potential for severe weather, and we have a G3 enhancement. This could get pretty gnarly tomorrow night. Hopefully not too bad. Everybody take note of that region. If you're in that region tomorrow night, just watch your weather a little closer than normal. There we go with your morning time activity. Now, remember here, we're coming out of G3 into G2. So there'll be enhancement to that in the morning. Noon should still have severe weather in it. Convection will probably still have some kind of severe weather in it. Then nighttime, right here, northern Minnesota, where all the cold airs, cooler air is mixing with that hot air coming up here. Boom, it finally meets cooler air. And again, G2, and on August 1st as well. So here we are, the nighttime of the 31st, going into the 1st with still G2. So that might still be severe right there. Noon might still have some severe capacity. There's convection already right there. August 1st, let me repeat, August 1st, G2, August 1st, convection, bam, enhancement, watch out. Nighttime, enhancement, watch out. Even these little pop-ups down here, you can't barely see them on this screen, but bing, 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 little pop-ups, those isolated supercells. Any weather around the world, okay? Morning of the 2nd. Now, depending on what happens with our next CME impact, noon, convection. We got supercell pop-ups right here. Virginia, West Virginia, down into Tennessee. Okay, so nighttime of the 2nd, morning of the 3rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 4th, noon, convection. Ooh, convection up in Canada. You guys up in Canada, watch out. You're the new Tornado Alley. Nighttime, morning of the 5th, noon, convection. You see this spinning up? Something's just forming right here in the Gulf. We might not even need sandstorms. They could just form right in the Gulf. There's convection the 5th, nighttime the 5th, morning of the 6th, noon, convection, nighttime, both of these. Morning of the 7th, noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 8th, noon. All right, so looks like landfall around noon or morning of the 8th right there. Noon, convection. The convection with landfall, they're saying 973. That would be category, almost a category 2. We'll see what happens there as we get closer to that day. Anything past 3 days is really, really unpredictable. So we're just going to go with this. Convection the 8th, nighttime the 8th. Wow. Morning of the 9th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 10th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 11th, noon, convection, nighttime. If we continue to have a solar activity impacts with this going on, would not be good. Morning of the 12th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 14th, right? Whoops. Morning of the 13th, noon, convection, nighttime. You see Canada up in there. That's why I keep saying that. And even back down. See how it's draping back down into here. Let's pray nothing comes off the sun on the 10th and hits on the 13th. That would not be good. Okay, continuing on. Morning of the 14th, noon, convection. And that was it. So there's your loop. Boom. All right. With the coming CMEs impact, absorbing swelling of the core and the shell, also heating and swelling of the magma down below, pushing outward upward to the underside of the crust, pushing out through perforations, weak spots, paths of least resistance, is going to cause a lot of earthquakes, volcanoes, fissures to open up. The more volcanic blasts that we keep getting, the more particulates we put into the air, which add to severity of storms. The air can hold more water. Okay, we got the heating of the oceans, which evaporates more water into the air. So the air has a higher water content and a higher particulate content, which are deadly combination for huge amounts of moisture out of your storms. Severe weather as well. Okay, all because of the activity on the sun hitting the earth, being absorbed, and producing its, all kinds of different things. And even this thing down here in the corner, we'll have to watch that as well. All right, so there's your astrophysics, geophysics, weather. Now let's get into the spiritual report, because what we deal with here is very disturbing, okay? Because we're dealing with the truth. Everybody else is living in la la land. We're over here dealing with the raw, naked truth that can be very, very upsetting. And it's not supposed to upset you because it's all part of the process. When you understand that, then it's not so disturbing. So that's why we do this part, the spiritual part. This is taking on Easter, a spiritual event that happened there. Okay, so let's kind of pick up where we left off last night. I showed you, I showed you some of the demonic attacks that I suffer. All right, let's just say he doesn't like me. Okay, he does not like me, so I'm under constant attack all the time. So, but I've learned a lot from it. And let's get out of that. Don't need the weather anymore. So let me just pull up a couple more images here for reading to. We're going to go to what did you say? Oh, so I was showing you some of the faces, how the etherical realm, the spiritual realm in the etherical that's being captured by the security camera, right, is now showing up in the clouds. All right. So I have UFOs that follow me. I've shown you UFOs. Let me just touch on this one really quick. This one's this craft right here. This gold trinket was made by humans here, representing a visit that they had 1,000 years ago from an advanced race that could fly, with dragon faces on the front of these flying craft. Okay, there's several different versions of these little gold trinkets. Oh, where are they? There's one right there. But they all have some kind of like bug or dragon type face on the front of them. All right. This model right here was actually captured. And, well, let's just kind of play right here. I did a stream yesterday and I was looking for a thumbnail for it. And I couldn't match up any pictures, wouldn't match up. And it wasn't until I started digging deeper into my pictures and I pulled up this one right here that I used as a thumbnail on my latest stream. That's when it occurred to me, this thing sitting next to this one, they're the same object. It's the same thing. Whoever made this craft right here is here now, and what I thought was a man standing on the plane before is actually one of the vertical stabilizers that comes out at an angle, kind of like an F-18's vertical stabilizers. They're not straight up and down vertically, they come out at an angle. Well, much like that, so do these ones right here. And what I thought was a man standing up is this vertical stabilizer right here. Nose, two eyes, and this would be the head kind of looking this way. Okay. So again, the eyes, the snout, kind of a snub nose one with the curls back around with the mouth here. Okay. And I was just kind of... Okay, we have a match. I took this picture. This vehicle flies around, is always in the sky watching me. So I got advanced races from the past that follow, watch, and study me everywhere I go. Okay, as well as the UFOs, there's also this race, this advanced race from the past that had flying machines, because you can see the wings, right? From 1,000 years ago. All right, so got this thing. And the other ones too, sometimes I'll see the other little models. That one right there actually was captured being like towed away from the sun. Like it approached the sun and broke down and something was towing it away. But got this guys that watch and follow and study me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, it gets. At first, it was really unnerving. I'm like, what the heck? But now that I'm getting used to it here, it's not so bad. What else was I going to show you? Oh yeah. Where's the Star Wars one? Just real quick here. Where to go? Star Wars.
Process them yet, but here we go.
Let's try this one.
In the sky every day now, so I've been getting lots of pictures and not even enough time to process them yet, but here we go. So this one I saw unfolding when I was driving, and I couldn't take a picture until I got to this stoplight. So I squeezed off as many pictures as I could at this stoplight, and we're gonna start zooming in, pulling it over a little bit, and maybe some of you see it now, but there's Yoda in the sky right there at this stoplight, and we're gonna start zoom.
All right, right about there is good. Let me get this better. Okay, point him out real quick. His eyes, his little button nose, he's got little chubby cheeks. There's short little chunky cheeks right there. Stubby little chin right here going underneath. Here's ear coming out, ear coming out. You can see his wrinkly head right here. So there's this giant Yoda head right here hovering over the Sierra Nevadas here, watching me, following me, studying me. Everywhere I go, I got advanced races from the past, and I got ascended masters like Yoda that watch, follow, and study me everywhere I go.
It over a little bit, and maybe some of you see it now.
I get too bright or something?
But there's Yoda in the sky right there. Yes.
And all right, so crazy stuff, real stuff too. It's really hard to go through this and then have nobody believe you. You know, even when I got these images, I take the doctors like, oh, come on now. Those are coincidences. Remember we were talking about last night, some of the mundane stuff that people take as coincidences? There are no coincidences. Everything is designed. It's part of the grand design. Okay, then there's also one more event, and then we'll do some reading. This one is a little disturbing, but we gotta address this. So give me just a second. Here's sound over Slovakia. I think you guys might know which one I'm gonna play here. All right, this is a real event here. Spiritual realm in charge of weather. You can see this face in the clouds right here. White arch over the nose right there. See the gem in the forehead right there? He's wearing a crown with the gem in the forehead. spitting lightning and growling at the people down below. This is happening in slow motion. Some of the stuff that happens in that realm is at different speeds than what we live at a different pace. Our time frame is. So some of these slow motion events sound better when you speed them up. So I'm going to double the playback speed and then play this one more time here, and you'll hear the growling a little bit clearer. This is a real event. This has already happened. This happened over Slovakia. Oh, I can't see it up there, but this happened over Slovakia. All right. The spiritual realm and these events are already taking place. All right. You see this little white bridge, or this white thing over the bridge of the nose right there? Okay. It's the same one. You see right here in these images. Okay. So, already happening. I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm just kind of warning you that this is what the world's about to experience, stuff like that. And it's going to send them over the edge. You're going to be okay because you're going to know what's going on. But when events like that already happened, most people didn't even know what was going on. They're like, what's that weird noise coming from the sky? They didn't even see the giant face or that it was spitting lightning. All right, so important that you understand this guy and that guy, same guy. He's taking care of business over in Slovakia, where a lot of your money goes unknowingly. Anyway, so I guess that's what do you want me to show for tonight, and then we'll pull up some stuff to read to. And we'll get this message out tonight because I got another important one for tonight. So everybody get all comfy, get all curled up, get in your spot. There's some, go to the bathroom, get refreshments, whatever it is that you'll do before we do this part of the show. Because I know some of you are doing, well, almost like not a ritual, but do your thing here to relax to this, which is what we're supposed to be doing here. Okay, because
it's a real face.
Oh,
And if you look back behind you here, let's zoom in just a little.
It's still on double the speed. There we go. And what did we lose? Brightness. There it is. Okay. Except too bright. What's going on there? That's okay. We just want to capture that guy right there. Anyway, so yeah, it's a little shocking, but that's why we do this part right here, because it's important that you know what's going on here and how blessed you are to be at this show. This show's a little different than your regular show because we got spiritual warfare going on, knocking my drinks over and everything. Cool. I'll just get some paper towels and clean it up though. All right. So, why is these images not showing up very well tonight? Brightness or something? Cool. Just a second here. All right. For some reason, this is not doing this thing. Oh, I know.
In on this face because was
Oh, come on, right there's good enough.
coming in on this face.
There we go. Now I can see a little bit better. All right, so this activity happens over me everywhere I go because of who I am. Yeah, unfortunately, it's because of who I am. And some of the stuff that I had to go through. But what's most important is that we get to this. There we go, right there. All right, cool. So, you know who I am. You know who you are now, and how precious this family is, and how precious you are to me. Okay? So, when we're doing this, take a couple of deep breaths and relax. It's okay. I don't bite. I love you, and I want you to trust me enough to relax and enjoy my presence. I did not design you to live in a state of hypervigilance, feeling and acting as if you're constantly in the midst of an emergency. Because that's how you guys are feeling, is as if you're in the midst of a constant emergency, huh? One doctor used to said, why don't you, it's like picking your finger out of the light socket. Like right now, you feel like you're got your finger in the light socket and everything's just super intense. So you're hyper vigilant and you're feeling and acting as if you're constantly in the midst of emergency. Your body is wonderfully crafted to gear up when necessary and then to gear down when the crisis is over. So we're gearing down, okay? Your body is crafted to gear up and gear down. So I want you to trust me enough to relax and enjoy my presence. Now, because you live in this broken world, you can find it difficult to let down your guard and relax. So I want you to remember that I am with you at all time, and that I am totally worthy of your confidence. So pour out your heart to me, committing all the things that are troubling you. Commit all those things that are troubling you into my sovereign care. Okay? Give it up. Give it to me. I know what to do with it. I make nice, beautiful collages out of it, and all your spiritual achievements are going to be shown just like this with your face and a crown over it. So I want you to trust me enough and relax in my presence. Pour your heart out to me. Commit all the things that are troubling you. All right? You got to figure out what it is that's troubling you. Is it the news? Are you plugged in too much? You get your finger in the light socket? Well, don't watch so much mainstream media. Take your finger out of the light socket. Even when you see the things that are disturbing, that are truth in the news, like the floods and the earthquakes and the hurricanes and the volcanoes, it still does not change that you are mine and you can relax in my presence. The more you lean on me, the more fully you can enjoy my presence, okay? So lean on me. Go ahead. Test me. Try me. Pray. Put a little trust and some belief into it, because then something magical happens. Something miraculous happens in your life. The more you lean on me, the more fully you get to enjoy my presence. Now, as you relax in my healing light, I shine peace into your mind and into your heart. What do I shine? I shine peace into your mind and heart. Even though all this solar stuff we just covered and then all that disturbing stuff, you can find peace. I shine peace into your mind and into your heart. Your awareness now of my presence with you grows stronger and stronger each day, and my unfailing love soaks into your inner being more each day. So trust in me, beloved, with all your heart and mind. And you'll get it. You'll see. You'll be like, oh man, no way. Yahweh. Yes. No way. I say Yahweh. Yahweh. See this lion face right there? Okay. It's stuff that follows me everywhere. Here, look at this other lion face here. We got where's that? No, it's in the albums. Oh, that's all right. Where did that one go? Was it in here? Oh, there it is. The two eyes being the nose. There's another lion face right there. I want you to trust me enough to relax and enjoy my presence. Your awareness of my presence with you grows stronger and stronger, and the unfailing love soaks into you more and more. The more you lean on me, the more you trust in me, the more you will find that if with all your heart and mind. You can go back to this one because right there, when you're looking at that heart showing my face, I created you in my image, just like this. I created you in my image. That's why my face is his heart. We're the same dude. And I created you in my image. You're a human. I am a human too. I'm not a Palladian or insectoid or reptilian. I'm a human. I'm the Word made flesh and dwelling among you. I want you to think about that for a minute. I created you in my image with the amazing capacity to communicate with me. And I can communicate with you. Pretty cool. You get to communicate with the God of the universe, huh? As my image bearer, you are capable of choosing the focus of your mind. Okay, not everybody can choose the focus of their mind, but you, as my image bearer, can choose the focus of your mind. Now, many of your thoughts come and go, but you can control them more than you realize. The Holy Spirit inspired Paul to write, whatever is true, whatever is noble, and whatever is right, think about such things. Stop right there. When you're sitting there taking in all this negativity from the mainstream media, oh, we're going to war, we're going to do this, and it's going to be this and that, you get anxiety, right? So the more you put in, the more anxiety it builds. Garbage in, garbage out. You need to unplug sometimes, take your finger out of the light socket, unplug from the world events, see my face, know it comes from my heart, the Holy Spirit, okay, and start thinking about whatever is true. Think about things that are noble. Think about things that are right. Think about, positive, beautiful things. Because if you just keep thinking of death and destruction all the time, what do you think is going to happen? Really? I mean, come on. Really, if you just keep thinking of death and destruction, looking at the mainstream media and the body count all the time, You're going to get sucked right in. I wouldn't instruct you to think in this way unless it was possible for you to do so. So, because the world contains both good and evil, you can choose to focus on excellent, praiseworthy things or on terrible, upsetting matters. Now, sometimes you have to deal with the brokenness around you, okay? We all have to deal with the brokenness around us. That is something that's unavoidable, all right? Even when you unplug, you still have to deal with the brokenness that's in your daily life, all right? But each day offers moments when you are free. There's moments during each day when you are free to ponder pure, lovely things, all right? So when your mind is at idle, it often moves towards negative focus. So regretting things in the past and worrying about the future are just a waste of time. I'm telling you, when your mind is idle, it often moves towards a negative focus. I want your mind, when you're in idle, to move to a positive focus. I want you to think about things that are noble and true, things that are praiseworthy. Okay? Things that are excellent. Yeah. Even when your mind is not at idle, it often moves towards a negative focus. So much these days, it's almost you wake up with negative focus and you have to battle all day just to find something positive. So, especially when people are still regretting things in the past, won't let go of those rocks, dump them off, quit regretting the things in the past, and quit future tripping and worrying about the future. Neither one of them you have control over. So, when your mind's at idle, quit worrying, quit future tripping, quit that negative focus, and focus on things that are beautiful, noble, true, praiseworthy, excellent. You know what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, you guys need to know this. I am with you in the present. Right here, right now, live on YouTube. Miracle, huh? I am with you in the present, waiting for you to recall my presence. Even when I'm not on the show, I am still with you in the present moment. Okay? All throughout your day, I'm with you in the present. Now, not in the future, not in the past. We're working with the present moment. We're trying to train you to be in the present moment, trying to train yourself to turn toward me frequently. This brightens even your hardest times and increases your joy. Okay? You got to train yourself to turn toward me frequently. It's not easy. I have trouble with it all day too. And I'm me. And I still struggle with it. So if I'm still struggling with it, I know you are. Okay? So it's just important to remember I am with you in the present. Okay? Just know that every time when you're having anxiety or something like that, hey, turn towards me. Take your mind off of that. Quit future tripping or regretting stuff in the past. Take a few deep breaths. We'll think about stuff that's noble and true. One last thing. Every time you have an anxious or fearful thought, you need to take multiple looks at me. Speak my name to remind yourself that I am near, ready to help you. Quote scripture back to me. Quote some scripture back to me. How about stuff like, I trust in you, O Lord, or you are my God, my times are in your hands, or I love you, O Lord, you are my strength. any of those helps you, not me. It helps you. It's for your mental state. And remember that I am your Savior King and take great delight in you. I take great delight in you when you find the keys and you're finding peace. You are a cherished member of my royal family forever. Okay? Connecting with me interrupts the negative thoughts that tend to course through your mind. That's what we got to struggle with all day. It's the negative thoughts that course through your mind. Connecting with me interrupts the negative thoughts. That's what we're trying to do. Interrupt those negative thoughts. And if the only thing that interrupts negative thoughts is connecting with me. So if you want to interrupt your negative thoughts, connect with me. And the more consistently you communicate with me, the freer you will become. Oh, you will become freer. You want to be freer? Oh, you don't. Oh, never mind. No. The more consistently you communicate with me, the freer you will become. And since I am the truth, living close to me helps you recognize and break free from the distortions and the lies. Trusting and loving me are at the very core of your relationship with me. These beautiful ways of drawing near me protect you from being too focused on yourself and your fears. So turn to me over and over again and be secure in my sheltering presence. Okay? Be secure in my sheltering presence. You are secure in my sheltering presence. You are if you want it. How bad do you want it? Real deal right there. Because I love you. I miss you. And I want to show. So until my next show, I think that'll be it for tonight. What's going on in the chat there? Oh, look at all you guys. Leslie, thank you. Christine, thank you. Jimmy, thank you. Tiger's Eye, thank you. Cindy, Kristen. Watchwoman of the Dragon. Oh, the hip pain. Yeah. Sciatic nerve could be pretty gnarly. Tina P, thank you for being here. All kinds of cool family. Yeah, we got most of them back after the restart. So, all right, that's it for tonight, you guys. I love you. I miss you. Until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. Brian Knight is coming like a lion. All right. I showed you the birthmark. I was dead and I am alive. All right. I love you. I miss you. Until my next show, I will be back. I'm already back. You should be able to tell by now.